Life is good, life is great, life is unbelievable. Life is hard, life is cruel, life is so beautiful. Oh yeah, oh yeah.
I hate cleaning. It's just not my thing. So it shouldn't have been a surprise to anyone that I didn't particularly like cleaning out our show box after our county fair. Each year after the fair was said and done, we would bring the livestock home and put them in the barn. We'd haul all of our dirty clothes into the house and dump them on the floor, and then we'd lift that big, heavy, dirty show box off of the truck. Now my dad, he would stare straight at my sisters and I, and he would say, "Now girls, I want you to make sure you clean the show box out, reorganize it, and get it ready for next year. I want it to be spick and span." Now, either my dad had a very forgetful memory or just an undeserved faith in my sisters and I, but we never did clean it out. In fact, we'd simply push that show box into the barn, pile some stuff on top of it, and hope that he didn't open it up to check. We'd walk back into the house feeling pretty smug and proud, knowing that we didn't ever have to think about the yucky chore of cleaning out that show box ever again. Or so we convince ourselves. But you see, there was one key element we were forgetting. If nobody cleaned the show box out this year, then next year, it would probably be just as dirty. But that's not what was on my mind back then. When I thought about the county fair, I certainly didn't think about cleaning out show boxes. I only thought about how much fun the county fair was going to be. I would plan for months on end about what fair food I wanted to eat first, the French fries or the funnel cakes, what color ribbon I wanted to win, purple or blue, what friends I couldn't wait to see, how late my friends and I would stay up in the camper, what chores I could sneak my way out of, and all the other fun that was sure to happen on the Fairfield County Fairgrounds. Now, our fair, being the last in the great state of Ohio, is always held in the middle of October, right when the air is crisp and cool and the trees are golden red. So when mid-October rolled around each year, I was certainly ready for the fair. I can remember one particular fair when I was a little more excited than usual. It was the first year that I was going to get to show a hog of my very own. I was so excited. I was ready. I could hardly wait. Until I saw my dad loading that big show box back onto the truck. I ran out to stop him. Obviously, he hadn't looked inside, or maybe he had, and he'd already cleaned it out for me. But as I ran up to that dirty old show box, and I carefully opened the lid, my suspicions were confirmed. The show box was as messy and disorganized as the way that I had left it the year before. Here I was, ready to head off to the fair and greet all of the fun that was anxiously awaiting me, and now I had a mess on my hands. I was angry and I was frustrated. But then I started digging through that old box. I was amazed at the things I found. Show tags still left on the clothes, old French fry cups, ribbons, and scattered decks of cards. The list goes on and on. But here's the funny part. I didn't simply remember eating the French fries that were left stale in that gross old cup. Instead, I remember chasing my cousin Jason around the beef barn with French fry cups in our hands. And I can't remember the specific show when I won that ribbon, but I do remember my dad smiling proudly as he displayed it above my sheet pen. And the decks of cards, well, you guessed it, they weren't important to me either, but the memories of sitting on the show box into the early hours of the morning with my friends playing card games certainly were important. It was almost as if everything I valued about life, everything wonderful, was contained in this old show box. I had a life-changing day. That day that I decided to clean out the show box, I realized that that little box did hold all I needed for a joy-filled, unbelievable, and wonderful life. I started to ask myself, what if every week of my life could be like the county fair? If somehow I could bottle up those warm thoughts and feelings and carry them with me all year long, wouldn't it be wonderful to live a county fair kind of life? Well, for me, that answer would obviously be yes. But for you, that answer might not come so quickly. The county fair was my golden moment, my time when everything seemed to fall into place and I felt like I could truly live. But you're not me. Each one of you has a moment in your life when you feel like you're on top of the world, They're the times when you can truly and honestly say that life is unbelievable. Finding those moments in your life means knowing those things that are made of joy, bring you joy, and create more joy simply by being a part of your life. But finding those golden moments is about more than joy and happiness. Finding those golden moments means that you seem to be surrounded by everything that makes you, you. You're in your element, so to speak. Your values are in line with your actions, and your thoughts are in line with your beliefs. No one even needs to question what your priorities are. What moments make this happen for you? Maybe you'd like to live a football game kind of life. Or maybe you think a music concert kind of life would be the way to go. Or maybe you'd even desire to live a chemistry experiment kind of life. What is your golden moment? Now, we've all experienced a moment in our life that we didn't want to end. I know we have because we've all been little, and it starts when we're little, and it includes a big man in a red suit. Now, I'm talking about Santa Claus. Now, when I was younger, I used to absolutely love Christmas. I could never wait for it to get there. But Christmas Eve, now that I hated. Christmas Eve would drag on forever and ever. And to make matters worse, we had a tradition at my house that none of us kids could go downstairs and look at the presents until my parents came down too. Now, I remember on Christmas Eve each year, I would crawl into my bed, I would close my eyes, and I would say my prayers, and then I would say a special prayer for the hours to fly by. And at about 5:30 in the morning, I would throw my covers off, I would march straight into my parents' room, and I would inform them that I was about to go downstairs and look at my presents. Well, they would convince me that 5:30 just didn't count as morning. So I'd walk back over to my room, and I would wait for what seemed like an eternity. But every 5 minutes, I would throw my covers off again, I would throw my door open, I would march right back into the room, and I would finally say, "Is it morning yet?" Well, eventually they would give in, and I'd go running down the stairs, and I would plop down in front of the tree and wait for the opening of the presents ritual to start. The entire morning was magical. It didn't even matter if Santa had brought a single present that I asked for. All I knew was that there was something special in the air that morning. Somehow, as we grow older, the magical feeling of those golden moments becomes harder to find. I was able to find it at my county fair. It was the sight of the fair lit up at night. It was the warm apple cider in the morning. It was seeing friends that I only saw once a year, and it was crawling out of my camper in the cold air at 5 o'clock in the morning to wash cattle. All of these things went together to give me my golden moment. What is yours? Now, I know that it's usually easier for us to say what makes us unhappy than it is for us to say what makes us happy. We can definitely say what makes us miserable. We hate bringing home bad grades on tests or report cards. We hate getting made fun of in the lunchroom, and we hate having to go to school on a cold winter's day when we know there should have been a snow day. We can definitely say what makes us unhappy. But those times when life seems like not enough or too much, the times when life seems downright horrible, are the times when we need those golden moments more than ever. And chances are, they're right there in the midst of it all, but we don't always see them. Sometimes we have to look to discover what they are. In fact, there may even be golden moments right here at National Convention. Maybe it's the feeling that overtakes you when the music comes on at the beginning of every session. Or maybe it's the lights that radiate around the convention arena so intensely that you know something amazing is about to happen. Or maybe you just feel pretty good right now. Those are the feelings to grab onto, to fill you up so full that nothing can ever drain your spirit. No negative put-downs, no comments, and certainly no fears.